Alright, for tonight, just gonna play a little bit of Genshin. Just I need to know. It's just a little bit, okay? Maybe 1-2 hours and then I'll be gone. Because tomorrow, I have to wake up early and go for part time a little bit more earlier than. But at the same time, I want to play Genshin a little bit more. So in any case, I'll be just playing Genshin just as much as I can, but as only for around 1-2 hours, and that's it. I can't play Genshin for too long today. That's the thing. The one thing is that I really find weird that today, like it's just there is not a special day. There's nothing on it, and then suddenly, like the restaurant today is filled with a lot of people non-stop. Like customers keep on coming non-stop though. And to be honest, I was washing dishes for 5 hours non-stop. My hand all got wiggling. You know, like when you soak your hand in the water for very, very long, and then your hand get wiggling, and then the longer you put your hand into, your skin start dropping off and whatsoever. Yeah, that's what actually happened though. So my skin right now is kind of bad. And where is the person that I'm supposed to talk to? Oh. But it's kind of bad though today. Having to watch Jesus so long. Your timing is more opportune. Thanks to your help last time, I basically produced a acceptable lubricant. However, I encountered another problem soon after that. While reproducing some of the parts, I found that their exclusively hard material will damage the part. Moreover, those exclusive hard parts will crack to different extent upon. Alas, Sakuya, Sankongame, how's your day? In case if you ask me how's my day, I will just say my day today is not good. Having to wash dishes in my part-time for 5 hours non-stop. Like today a lot of dishes to wash though. And even when my shift is over, actually I'm supposed to be washing for 4 hours, but then my shift extended to 5 hours. And even then, the dish never stop coming in. The number of 30 dishes keep on coming. It's like, I feel like by the time they finish, I mean like I leave it to others after my shift is over. I feel like by the time they finish, it will be around 6 or 7 already. I mean, just imagine the number of dishes, like the number of trays keep coming in non-stop, and they want me to go out, and it's like I only got 2 basins and 7 tray of, and then by the time I put all the 30 clean dish on the table for them to dry, then I have to go and clean additional stuff, and then they are sending like, Ame-san, please wash the right bowl. Ame-san, please wash this. Ame-san, please wash that. Ame-san, go out to the hall and take the dishes just in. Like for so many days, I actually wanted to shout, I am not a taco! I'm not an autobus. How many hands do you expect me to have? It was so ridiculous though, the number of dishes today. And because of that, more like because of today, it's just that you guys have to wonder. Today suddenly a lot of customer keep coming in though. Normally around 3 or 4, around the number of customers stop coming in at around 3. But somehow today, like 3 p.m. customer coming in like, oh, I want to eat something. 4 p.m. still got customer want to come in and eat something. So in a sense, like today I washed so many dishes to the point that I was like, why? Which one should I give? This one? So today the one thing is that I just don't. You guys have to wonder. And the one thing I hate about washing dishes is that it's my part time. I'm being paid, but it's not being paid a lot though. The only thing is that it's actually hurting my fingernails, you know, guys. I'm not the type of person who will take care of my nails. It's like if my fingernails grow longer or grow rougher, I don't mind. But I don't like a part when because of the chemical in the soup. The chemical in the soup is actually hurt, and washing dishes for 5 hours non-stop. It's like it's hurting. It's causing my fingernail to become very, very rough and very, very like weird though. And it can very weak and soft. Do you guys like it? Do you guys actually? I'm more like, do anyone like to wash dish for like more than 1 hour? I'll be damned if there actually is. Even my co-workers don't even want to wash the dishes themselves. It's like when I'm supposed to go at 4, and then my manager is like, もうちょっと意見ですか? If I say that yes, I'll have to wash dishes. So I've continued until all the way to night time. They will definitely ask me to wash the dishes all the way to night time, and I'll be like, yup, babe. Sometimes I really wonder they should like kind of prevent themselves from getting too much small dishes, or maybe ask the customer to like just order some simple stuff. Hello, Richie-san, Kongami. How's your day? Today, if you are wondering if I'm good, I just say earlier it's not good. I mean, like you have to understand, washing dishes for 5 hours, you know. 5 hours. You walk around the neighborhood, so nothing much. That is no fun. I mean, like, wash dishes for 5 freaking hours. You know how bad my fingernail become? How rough it had become? How bad it had become? Actually, more like when I say it, how rough it became, it sounds so wrong though. Wait, so it's a small restaurant? Not entirely small though. If there is like on the first floor, 17 table, and each table can hold up to 4 people, I won't technically say it's that small though. The only thing you guys have to you have to understand is that my shift ends at 4 p.m. They don't have enough staff, so I continue to work for additional 1 more hour, you know. And I have to like treat them. I won't really say treat them. It's more like I have to say that because I have to say like, oh, I got stuff to do at 6, so I have to stop at around 5. The maximum 5. No more than 5. If I don't say that, they will purposely ask me to stay all the way until and wash all the dishes, you know. You guys have to understand, like, washing... The thing is, like, washing dishes non-stop is really kind of very scary, though. For you, it's small. Yeah, that's why I say it's small, but not small at the same time, though. I feel like that's what I can say, though. Hand will be pain though. Yeah, that's why after the whole thing, my hand became very rough though. I mean, like, washing dishes for 5 hours non-stop. Yada na. I used to be a dishwasher in the past. Now I got kitchen, but you know the one thing, right? I actually used to work in one restaurant where there is a the Jack tap water. The one where there is a tap water that allow you to use a machine to just in one of my previous part time that I used to work for a moment, a year, actually more like, even when I say a moment, it's still a freaking 1 year plus, for around 1 year. All the dishes are just put on a tray and then put into the dishwasher and wash. It's just that the jet, it's very damn fast. It's so damn fast. But in this restaurant I'm working in, there is no such water jet. And the worst thing is that all of the dishes I have to wash by hand. I wonder how many plates I have destroyed. Because you have to understand, all the plates are very, very small and very delicate. So it's actually they are very easily breakable. It's so breakable to the point that I actually don't even like. That's the reason why in real life, if anyone need to know, I do own a few ceramic plates, but I keep on using the plastic plate. It's like if I smash it, throw it upward, toss it outward, destroy it, and then smash it on the ground, and it still won't break. That's the benefit of plastic plate. That's the reason why I like. That's the reason why I like plastic plate. It's the most best invention ever. Hello, Teku-san, Kongami, how's your day? In case you need to know, I'm Amika Kita. I'm playing Genshin at the moment, just in case you need to know. I do understand it'll be easier than the ceramic one. You guys have to understand, it's like ceramic. There is two types of ceramic though. There is the thin one that is the most breakable. I would call it the most delicate one. And then there is the thick one where it won't break that easily, but you still have to freaking make sure that you don't drop it on the floor. Because once it drops onto the floor, oh my goodness, it will be you have to wonder how many pieces you have to pick on the ground. Use a banana leaf to eat. You know the funny thing, right? Is that I'm not sure, is it the Malaysia or is it Indonesia that invented the one that with the banana leaf plate though? To be honest, I feel like that is the best one. And I'm not even joking. I mean, like, after eating it, you just throw it away. I mean, isn't like there is a Chinese version? A lot of Chinese love to use the paper one. The paper one where it's one part of it is like. Isn't like there is a later on they create someone invented another version. Oh my, a version where it's paper one, where one side is technically one side is the environment friendly. Yeah, the only thing is that the second later on isn't like there is a part where someone used the paper one with some sort of wax or plastic on one side, so that if you place the oily food on it, at least it won't stain that much. But it still somehow can still absorb the oil somehow. You know which one? In case anyone need to know, just go and find not the paper plate where you put the plate where it's a freaking plate, but it's a shape of the paper that is on a plate. It's actually a piece of paper where we normally in only Southeast Asia that we tend to use it for like takeaway. I feel like it's only mainly on Southeast Asia though. The brown paper. Is it alright to call it the brown paper? Mostly it's Asia. Yeah, the thing is, right, even when we say Asia, right? Even if we say Asia, right? I don't find it in Japan yet though. I don't see it in Japan. If I see it in Japan, definitely I will say, oh, it's definitely Asia. But in Japan, I don't see it though. I feel like it's mostly on Southeast Asia. But even if I say South Asia, some Asia do have it though. But in Japan, I don't find it though. Or even if they do have it, they will be using some sort of similarity to it, but they kind of like replace it to other stuff or something. It's just so. Oh dear. It's a good thing. Oh yeah, I wonder if you ever eat, but the paper used is newspaper. How to say this though? Technically, I had eaten snack that was actually placed in the. You know there is kind of like the snack where I used to eat when I was young. The snack where everything is placed on the newspaper. The snack was on the newspaper. I feel like I'm telling a very old story though. With snack. It can be candy, it can be peanut, it can be all sort of a lot of different. I know you used to have that experience. Oh, good. I thought I was being too old because that you hardly find that anymore in this. The only thing is that it's hardly able to able to find it now. The only thing, if anyone need to know, it's mostly I know there is some Chinese who deal it. It's like basically there is one store, there is one like booth or store, whatever you call it, and they have all kind of snack that can be eaten by hand, and they put it in a glass jar, and you just need to tell them that what snack you want, and the person will place it in the newspaper cone. Like the person hold a newspaper and they fold it into a cone shape, and then he just put all the snack into that cone and then give it to you, and you just pour and you can either eat it like a popcorn, just slowly eat the snack, or you can just pour everything into your mouth. Your old school still do it, but there is something special about the paper this year. You know the funny thing is that my mom actually used my mom actually used to say that it used to happen when everyone want to watch the movie, and there's always that one guy that sell doing that kind of sell that kind of thing on outside near the movie, and right now everyone just change to popcorn. The only thing is, right, in the past it was actually there, but not and my mom actually said my mom actually say funny thing is that a lot of people like the newspaper is because you get to read the newspaper afterwards. The paper they use is actually the exam paper that the student left in class. Wow. I was not expecting that as an answer. Imagine if you see one of the paper clone. Imagine if you take a look at the paper clone. There is a 0 out of 100 as the score. Imagine one of the paper is the score is 0 out of 100. Not a reason. So you decided to come in. Decided to talk? Or not? Yes? No? I don't know. Wait. Are you muted at the moment? Or 世上講嘅美好說的 Wait, am I? No, I'm not muted at the moment. It's glitching a while. Oh, it's glitching again and it will take a while. Oh, okay.
ご安心を。逃げようなんて思わないでよね。15チョック来光以降美しきかな律令チョック15
ちょっと待って。Doing that kind of create a film in my throat. Okay. How am I able to do it? It's a skill that maybe there might be a few people in this world able to do it, but I have no idea how to teach you guys this skill. I have seriously no idea how to teach you guys this skill, you know, like seriously. Like seriously, if anyone want to learn, I had no idea how to teach you guys, so that's okay.
風だ一緒に遊ぼうよ乱暴だなそうランド行こい逃げようなんて思わないでよね律令
I will puke if I do that. Interesting. I wonder how am I going to do this? Imagine if I talk for 1 hour like this. How are you guys going to do that? Oh. Isn't
I assume you can hear me if you reply to that.
Imagine if I do a rich laugh and it will be like how you want? We want
逃げ道はあり直律令ご安心をここだよ風だ足元に気をつけて
And how was it?
姿を残さ直15見切りました一緒に遊ぼうよひどいっしょ
Mm-hmm.
When they show that the first ending,
Mm-hmm.
then how many endings are there?
I thought you said 2.
Because people could not find the second ending.
And here you say there is 2 endings.
Because some people say there's one, other people say there's 3 endings.
True.
Here's how many endings there are.
Seriously, how many endings are there though?
But you can say the first ending, you will get a jump scare before they will have like a happy ending.
Wow, you're gonna have a happy ending, but before that, he a jump scared! Bruh!
No, first of all, they're gonna jump scare you first before they're gonna be before the happy ending that Sora gonna came out.
Oh, so it's like, boo! Okay, here's a happy ending for you.
Yep.
How am I supposed to say this? I'm not even wanting to get the game myself, but the thing is that if I do get 10 viewers watching me playing that game, I'll definitely do it. But
Wait, I forgot to check because I retweeted on my private account. So I didn't check back how many likes you got.
you retweet. Wait.
I use a private account so it could not retweet.
Oh!
Only I can see it.
Which one is that? Oh my god. The frame that is keep on stucking on my throat. Let me do a search right now. I should not technically have any okay, which profile? No, I'm not gonna retweet mine. Why would I want to retweet mine again? 3 retweets. I see 3 retweets, but I only got 2. Oh god.
Yep, that's me.
How dare you?
I'm using a cheat code so you could not trace me back.
Well, even if you say that, there's no way I'm gonna get 10 viewers at the same time. When I put... Actually, how about let's do it this way.
If I read it right or wrong though. I end up replying in Japanese what you just say on your tweet. I'm not 100% sure if it's understandable or not.
But I almost on my tweet are in English though.
Yes, and I retranslate it into Japanese.
Nande. If you need a Japanese version, just tell me. I can just type one new one for you. Actually, better not.
I type it on my own, so I already people that follow me there, they will know that I'm not 100% sure about my own Japanese. So if I'm wrong, some people will actually correct what I just say.
Ah, 優しいな。 There are kind people in this world. Oh, by the way, what am I supposed to be doing?
But
Mm-hmm.
I actually got 3 replies back right after I retweet it with the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing what was it? Please know that I was not active for a few months on this account.
You go and check how many like and retweet on that side. Then how many? Actually, more like how many like on your side though?
9 likes and 12 retweets.
That's more than mine. That's.
I didn't use the account for a really long time.
I'm jealous of everyone who can get their retweet, like keep on retweet again and again and again. That's how to get viral. When someone keep on sharing, you need to spread. You have to spread it. Get it?
Yes.
Spread. The only thing in your life you can't.
I mean, it's using under VTuber, but I use under V streaming. Not V streaming, V streamer. I use that might be something different, I think. I'm not 100% sure of that.
いい景色ですね。
Because people on that side usually use V streamer more than VTuber.
Ah. Now.
I'm not sure if that actually plays a role or not in the tweets.
I don't know. It kind of depends. But even like, I feel like personally, I might be wrong. Is that there is a lot of VTuber, but at the same time, a lot of people call themselves. There are also quite a lot of people who call themselves V streamer. Then there's also the V singer. So it's kind of hard to know which one. But for me, I'm more like a VTuber, right?
For me, both V streamer and also VTuber. I think.
I mean,
Mostly, I think I'm both.
I mean, like, yes, I do stream, but more likely I would think I would call myself a VTuber though. But at the same time, I'm not saying I'm not a V streamer though. I mean, like, technically there are days when I can just do streaming and doing nothing and keep on talking again and again and just talk non-stop to the point where everyone is like wonder, why is Ame talking so much? Why is Ame talking so much rubbish? Is Ame drunk again? Wait.
I got another comment. And I'm surprised that. Okay. Remember that I share you his video, the one that's laughing.
Mm-hmm.
He only laugh in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. My Twitter is actually auto translate, so it just went to you're still alive.
主湯の夢に過ぎません。
But it does make sense because I was not active for
But right now that I think about it, I feel like
10 months.
oh, that's quite a long word. Suddenly the game glitched a little bit. Well, I mean, like, just imagine, guys, if I really do it, I feel like, you know, the funny thing is that just imagine if I say that I won't play there's no way I'll get 10 viewers.
逃げ道はありません。
And suddenly, like then I go and post that Twitter post, and then like next week next week it'll be like one day me playing that horror game.
無限化せよ。律令直。
Should I ask my
You have no idea like how Neji-san also had did that a lot of time on me, you know. You know Neji-san, right? Basically, when you know why I play horror game a few times. Do you know why I play Poppy Playtime? Do you know why I play Toki Repeater Club? And even if you,
Maybe due to the books.
yeah, the thing is that all of them are mostly Neji-san army.
Yeah, that.
It's still the Neji-san army. And it ended up being me having to play all the horror game.
Good and bad at the same time.
You could say that again. Like, seriously, you have to imagine me playing horror game when for the moment when I keep on screaming.
Can you imagine that if someone actually had the time, try clipping every screen, every time Ami scream in that video, and put it with the music.
15見切りました。
When Einstein's music was.
What?
I only know the creator. I forgot what the song called.
Are you saying that someone should make a so you are saying, okay, Richie, let me get this straight. So you're gonna say that people going to clip every screen in every horror game I play, and then you'll be like, create a music out of it, something like that?
Yep, a screen counter on how many times you scream. Not all the horror games though, just the one that you're playing.
Oh, you mean the horror era?
Yes, if it's about the horror era scream, just that, not other things.
Okay. Okay, how long is the game around? Since you...
What I saw was mostly the quickest one is 2 hours.
It's,
But the other they're either screaming or either running away from the PC saying that what did I just see?
so basically those who play the horror... So basically those who play only 1 hour, 2 hours, it's just basically they must be scared to the point that they just quit.
Maybe. I actually asked in my account, the private one, say if anyone had played Hololive era. Surprisingly, 20 people reply.
Oh, and did they play it?
Yes.
Yes, they actually played it, but the one that's playing was not a streamer.
So
One of them that replied was not a streamer. They said they just play for fun.
so how do they find it though?
They say that the notes that you found in the game actually plays a role on which ending you're gonna get. So it's similar to the Five Nights at Freddy, the beach version.
Is it gonna
Security Beach. Yes, that one.
is it gonna be hard?
Yep. I also asked how long it takes for them to find the second ending. Some of them replied 6 hours, and the longest hour that I got was the whole week. every note that you can see.
You know what's the worst part?
Like,
How am I supposed to not scream now?
that's actually gonna be impossible. Except if you can take Sora's immunity to horror. That's a different story.
Oh wow, channel my inner Sora. Channel the inner Sora sorry. The Tonoki Sora power. You see the scariest thing? Oh, ha 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 ha. Or more like Potter-san, see something scary, laugh on it. Just laugh.
I'd rather you scream than laughing.
You know,
Because I don't want you to laugh like a maniac while you're streaming.
okay, this is gonna be the prediction. I feel like I'll be first at the start of a few horror part. I'll be probably very very lightly just scream normally. Then slowly as time get by, I got used to it, and yet at the same time not used to it, and I'll scream like a maniac. Then after that will be the part where I'll slowly scream as if I'm laughing. And then the final type of scream will be just me just like something like that.
Let's just see what happens if you manage to play the game.
裁きの雷
Maybe I should have you maybe I should add your avatar next to me and then show that you are also near to me watching me playing the horror game.
I actually don't mind because usually if one of my friends was doing any horror games, they were the one that I don't know if I should get offended of this or not.
Aww.
They say that Rizzy is actually my shield, my free side, so I won't get scared.
I
What is that compliment though?
You know what is the worst thing? Is that sometimes you know like Fubuki and Poluka when they join other people when they are playing horror game, they always make noise to make even more scared, just trying to do a create scare. It's like
Yeah, I know.
I'm afraid that you might actually go and make some weird noise instead.
Usually I will mute. I won't say anything.
That even worse though. Imagine if you stay mute and then I'll be like, "Are you there, Richie-san? Are you still there? You still there, right?" And then you'll be like,
It's gonna be there, but just what you want me to continue talking through this whole stream.
actually more like I feel like even if you don't, okay, let's say that even if you are not around, or maybe even if let's say that you're muted, somehow I feel like I will still scream even if you are still next to me. I mean, like when my sister play Resident Evil 5, I didn't know there was actually a cockroach monster in Resident Evil 5 until Misty-san told me. Like I wasn't aware there was a cockroach monster in Resident Evil 5 in the freaking first place. But in any case, I mean, like, it's actually weird at the same time, though. How am I supposed to say this? Okay, let's.
They didn't play Five Nights at Freddy's yet.
I will
The
never.
original version, the bridge version.
I will never play Final at Freddy, no matter what.
Because that version is not like it's not coded. So the jump scare is not like not on timing, I think.
That's
So
the
it's still harder to see.
okay. The thing is, right, for the Five Nights at Freddy, I won't. It's just that I'm very bad in the game when you are trying to save and on trying to just to freaking make use of the battery. Like you, I mean, like after the time when I got a freaking Chica on my right and Bonnie on my left, and I have to freaking close both doors because if I use the camera, they will jump scare you, and if you don't use the camera, the Freddy will come and jump scare you, and then if there is also the freaking who again Foxy, which you have to always make sure to monitor him in case. Because if you don't monitor Foxy, you know that when the way he run towards you. Oh, I was like, oh, I don't even want to remember the moment. I remember there was one time when I saw the Foxy run in one of the camera, and I was like faster, close the freaking door, and the Foxy was like, yeah, that's how I was like, oh god. And I remember I screamed like hell after that. If we Find Night at Freddy 2, okay, one thing is that I never played Find Night at Freddy 1. But I actually, to be honest, I actually did play my friend actually let me play. So basically my friend let me play Five Nights at Freddy 2 for once. Never liked it. Because you cannot block one of the door though. Which is like yes.
Of that one. For me, those two games can still be predicted. I cannot speak. How about the recent one? In 3D mode.
You mean the security breach? Actually, one of my friends Ken-san asked me to play the game.
Right?
And basically, he asked me to play the game, like try it out or something. And I was like, okay, never mind. Let me watch you play the game, and I will see how it goes. I saw him how he played it, and I saw a lot of people how they played it, and I was like, yeah, definitely not my cup of tea. I was like, yeah, definitely not my cup of tea for a reason. Do you want to know why?
Yes, if you're okay with it, read it.
It's actually very easy. It's because there's a lot of stealth.
A lot of what?
Stealth mode. You have to be very stealthy.
ついてるな
And I'm very bad in stealth game. You know about Hitman for do you know the game Hitman? Agent 47. I used to have I used to have that game in the past. And I have played that game in the past.
So I think it didn't work out.
And I just kill everyone in the game.
Why?
Just kill everyone! Why not?
I don't know if that being an agent or being a terrorist at the same time.
I mean, it's a game. You are killing everyone, but you're not killing real life people. So I guess it should be fine, right?
Yeah, I know. Singles like you play GTA 5.
Something like that. But amazingly, I had never played GTA 5 ever once.
I have played it once, but I borrowed my brother's account, and I could not stop screaming when the police started to chase me.
Do you know about Need for Speed?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to play that a lot. And I always like, police chase after me, come! Chase me!
Oh god. Usually we want the opposite, but Ame just like, come at me.
Why not?
I forgot what that Japanese game.
What? Which game?
It's like a Starbucks game. Look up. Ah, yeah, night shift. Night shift.
What's that?
The game calls night shift.
Night shift.
Basically, it mostly about somebody is actually stalking you back.
Ah, wait. I think I saw quite a few of the whole life member playing the game. A night shift where basically you got a stalker.
They actually play it. Yes, they actually play it.
Yeah, I saw a few clips here and there. And to be honest, I will not play that game.
It's not even that scary though. It's not even scary.
It is to me. I mean, there is a few funny parts. I will agree on that, but the stalker is still a freaking scary guy, though.
It's not even scary. Is it weird if I say that?
It's scary for me, though.
It's saying that it's scary, but for me it's not even scary. He just keep jump scare and saying that nothing weird. That's it.
I mean, like, technically.
The was half naked, entering the store and starting to dance.
Ah, that car.
Yeah. I used to do that on. I used to stream that game on Twitch. Every time the jump scare came out,
次はどこに行くんだ
jump scare there's actually
いいゆえの
jump
名
scare.
所を巡りたいなら
Most of them, I just say that, why are you here? Are you trying to kill me? That's the first word that came out from my mouth.
Interesting.
I remember one of my friends sent a student. Wait, is that? Wait, fish is not super chat. I don't know what it is. But similar to super chat, saying that why everyone you meet, you keep saying that are you trying to kill me? Then the first thing that actually came
剣
out
女
from my
盤石
Wow. Imagine if you get. Imagine like for just take it as an example. Imagine if you play a horror game and the horror game like Friday Night at Freddy. Let's say Friday Night at Freddy. Imagine like if you are playing the game and you say, "Oh well, those mechanical monsters are definitely not trying to kill me." Imagine you say that. Oh wow, they are not trying to kill me, but they actually are. Like totally they are, right?
Yep. And when I was curious about what Chica did in that game was that how does the grass taste like? In Security Breach, one of the notes saying that Chica is eating from the garbage.
I remember that part.
If possible, I want to go up to her and ask, is the garbage good? I borrowed my friend's game. I did that, and I died. The one that I replied was that maybe it's good. My friend that was watching it and saying that, are you crazy? Yeah. What is your insanity?
Just reply. Since when do I have sanity? Imagine if you tell everyone it's like, since when do I have sanity? Everyone will be like, mmm.
Like, no, you're gonna get a cough again.
What?
Most of the time I'm playing horror games, I didn't get scared that much. Didn't have much emotion.
Okay.
If I die, I die. Okay? If I die, I die.
岩山発狂
Wow, if I die, I die. So if I live, I live. I die when I get killed.
天道ここにある
The good thing is that this
捕まえた。どの目が出るかしら。ソーランドイ
my word.
Oi! That sounds so wrong in so many different levels.
Why? It does not sound weird. It's true.
Okay, even if it's true. Okay, even if it's true. Let's say that if there is such a person who go around and say that, are you afraid of the dark? And you say, No. And I embrace it. I love it. It's part of my life. And then what happens if there is a cockroach on it? And the first thing you will be saying, I will definitely eat it. I'll be like, what? And the first thing I'll definitely like, what?
First of all, I would not say that I would eat it. I would mostly say that I'm gonna consume it and become a part of myself.
Oh god.
Okay, just notice that it's not more
いや
than
甘い
your
剣よ盤石
Hey.
Oh god, what did I just hear?
Se 岩山八九天理チョーク
ご安心をふっやっやっえふっやっへっほな
Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, better don't. better don't eat, freaking don't eat a freaking cockroach, or don't even consume a cockroach. What do you mean by
甘い
My grandmother used
ソーランド行こう
to
せっえへっふっ
when I was
やっ
5 years
はっおっとあっちへっ
Also, okay, I can explain this one. First of all, when I was young, there was like, you know, the insects version of candy. I think it was one
財
of
を
it.
得る方法あり
I think it was one of it. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
When I was young, there was a insect shape of chocolate and candies. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was one of it.
Wow.
So I didn't hesitate and just eat it. And then I just noticed that it is weird.
It kind of remind me of my uncle's story though, that my dad always tell me in the past.
Yeah. I still remember that you replied saying that that's why he how do you reply again?
No wonder he loves to talk shit. I mean, like, he technically full of shit though. He is then.
That my mom said that I used to eat another insect, but I don't know what this insect is called in English. Wait, let me search it out really quick. Malay version is called ulat gonggok. English I have no clue.
逃げ道はありません
What the hell is this name? Okay. In English, the insect I was trying to say was a millipede. How you pronounce it?
うちに開けさせて
I kind of wonder what. Excuse me. I mean, like, just imagine that if you come across, I mean, like, if you come across a shit that look like a Chinese sausage, will you still eat it?
The first thing I'm gonna do, okay. If you ask for my viewpoint or my own head, how I think,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna dip it and put it in my mouth first without hesitating, saying that before seeing or even smell it first. And if I taste it weird, I'm gonna say that why is this sauce taste so weird? And somebody's gonna say that it's
You guys have to. The thing is, right?
I'm gonna do first.
The thing, I mean, like, you know, the thing is, my uncle ate it and swallowed it without hesitation. He swallowed it. And the thing is, after swallowing, he said it tastes kind of weird. And in my
That's how I actually react to this. That's actually how I react. Almost everything that I put in my mouth.
and excuse me. And somehow, in my mind, my thought is there's no way I'll come across a person that will do the same thing as my uncle.
Well, too bad. I'm actually the one that used to do it. Now you're still doing it.
Still doing. You know what? Next time, if you meet me in real life and you want to eat something that I make, I feel like I need to make it at least look very nice and tasty. And the first thing I will make is nasi lemak.
First of all, when you actually say nasi lemak, is it weird when I say it like this? I only eat the rice,
Ganzan Hatsuku.
the small fish, and the kacang.
The small fish you make ikan bili.
I'm not sure what English called.
Are you referring to ikan bili?
Yes, ikan bilis.
Yeah, the thing is, it's freaking called ikan bili even in Singapore.
Oh. Wait. Wait, how can I forget this thing? I forgot that Singapore used to be a part with Malaysia before you guys separate from us.
There is a reason why Singapore got separated though.
I forgot about that.
You want to know? You don't want to know the history?
The true history, I'm not sure because from our view, saying that you guys say that it's unfair because you guys didn't have the same, the same white. So that's why it was separated, I think.
Okay,
That's from our story.
this is the very hard truth that in case anyone need to learn, this is what basically happened. The reason why Singapore got separated after merging with Malaysia, the reason for Singapore to merge with Malaysia was the main purpose reason of having an independent moment from British. After World War II, Singapore gotten free from the Japanese. So basically what happened, in case anyone need to know, like Japan actually conquer and in a sense did the same thing on what they did to the Korean and China. So Singapore actually suffered the same fate as those countries in the past. And Singapore was suppressed by the Japanese like for 3 years. And yes, there was like female getting raped by the Japanese soldier, guys getting killed by the Japanese soldier because they feel like guys may wanting to go against them, so they just kill them all. So there is such a thing. And after Japanese surrender, after to the bombing of after the 2 bombing, and the Japanese decided to just surrender, which in a sense mean that the Japanese soldier in Singapore was finally given the order to retreat and finally given the order to surrender. The Britain wanted to take back Singapore. You know, like Britain always like, oh, we want to colonize here, we want to colonize there, we want to colonize every single way. Singapore was like, no. Singapore was like, no more. So basically what happened was that, but the Britain was like, you are such a small country, what can you do? You're gonna be part of us. So Singapore decided that Lee Kuan Yew decided at that time in order for Singapore to actually split from Britain, it has to be part with one country, and that is Malaysia. So basically Singapore became part of Malaysia in the sense is to prevent Singapore to be part of Britain rule, part of Britain colony again. So that's the reason why Singapore merged with Malaysia at that time. Now here's the funny thing. Singapore at that time, despite Takehiro-san, Konami, how's your day? So right now, in case I'm just going to tell you guys most the true history of Singapore. So basically, what happened was that Singapore at the time, even still now, not a lot of people say that Singapore a lot of China or Chinese people. The thing was, in the past, Singapore was full, not just full. It's technically mostly China people. Not China people, more like people from China or people who immigrate from China. That's what happened in the past. So in a sense, is that the Malaysia Prime Minister at that time, and don't be surprised if I say it's actually the Prime Minister at that time was Mahathir. He Mahathir, that freaking old man, even till now, we call in Singapore we call him old and yet not dead. That old bastard. In Singapore, a lot of old people call him the old bastard at the time. Even still now. The reason for that was Mahathir didn't like Chinese. He was very, very racist in the past. And he doesn't like the moment when there is many Chinese in Singapore. And the thing is that if Singapore became part of Malaysia, they have to account the population. And he realized that there was a lot of Chinese. Because there is also a few Chinese in Malaysia at that time. So he afraid that Singapore will be in the sense that there is some sort of election at that time, and Singapore win one seat in Malaysia. PAP actually, the party at the time was technically that Singapore PAP, the current PAP, the current ruling party of Singapore was actually the opposition at that time in Malaysia when Singapore was part of Malaysia. So that is the one thing when a lot of people ask me about PAP, I say PAP used to be the opposing party. Singapore was the opposing party to Malaysia at that time. So because of that, right? So because of that, in a sense, it's actually not wrong to say that Mahathir hate the late Lee Kuan Yew at that time. and he still hate him. And the funny thing is that there was actually a saying in Chinese that 活了赢不了，死了还是输。Which basically means that when Lee Kuan Yew was still alive, Mahathir lose to Lee Kuan Yew. And even when Lee Kuan Yew is dead, like as in Lee Kuan Yew passed away, the policy and the rule that Lee Kuan Yew set in place, Mahathir tried to overturn it. He actually tried to overtake the water factory that was owned by Singapore in Malaysia. He wanted to take it back. He said the rule that the water treatment that Singapore buy water from Malaysia, Singapore treat, and then the thing is that the Singapore buy water from Malaysia. We buy dirty water from Malaysia. We clean it up and we sell it back to Malaysia. And Mahathir say that it's unfair. We sell it so cheap, but you are selling back at us expensive. The thing is that the rule was set based on the price in the past. You can't overturn an agreement that you signed in the past. And the funny thing was that he wanted to overturn a ruling. And the funny thing is that Lee Kuan Yew said the ruling to be expired, which I believe that he said the rule was due to the reason that he wanted the rule, he wanted to be overturned only after when Mahathir is dead.
Oh wow.
That's the reason. The thing is that because if you see the original expired date is 2030. Mahathir will be long dead by then.
He's still not dead though.
Yes, the thing is that he's still not dead. So technically there's still 7 to 8 more years. The thing is that will
I'm just. How are you still alive?
the thing is that you have to understand that when the late Lee Kuan Yew passed away, he was 90 plus years old, you know.
Yeah.
花火はパッと聞いてまうけど、友情は一生もんや。
I don't know how.
So the thing is that I feel like Lee Kuan Yew knew that Mahathir can live a long age. That's why he purposely set that rule, the agreement. He knew it in the past. He knew what Mahathir was going to do. The thing is that he knew it long before. You have to understand it happened in 1960s, 1970. Like that is like how many freaking years ago?
20 or 30-ish.
60, 70, 1960, 1970, within this range. That is like 50, 60 years ago, you know.
うちに開けさせて。
How are you able? How is the late Lee Kuan Yew able to predict the future so far ahead?
But at the same time, it's also good, even though it was not expected, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the funny thing was, Lee Kuan Yew was actually had a mind to help out Malaysia at that time, and the funny thing is that he was trying to help Malaysia, but Malaysia, because of Mahathir, he was a very prideful person. You know how Mahathir was a very prideful person. So the thing is, Lee Kuan Yew knew how he was. So he was actually kind of sad when Singapore, in case anyone need to know, Singapore didn't have. It's more like it actually true to say that Singapore was forced to be separate from Malaysia by Mahathir.
Yeah, it's actually that one I can believe, and it is also true about that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But one thing that I'm not like
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mahathir that's quoting you guys' nation.
Okay, the thing is, right, Singapore Lee Kuan Yew also, right, he also say that Singapore shall leave. But the thing is that how can a person who say we shall leave Malaysia and yet he cry?
Yeah.
If anyone need to search, just go and find Lee Kuan Yew cry. He actually freaking cry when he declared Singapore is no longer part of Malaysia, you know. I mean, like, even if he put on an ad.
Reading anything about history, see both sides, not just one side. Because like me in Malaysian side, the story is different, saying that Singapore is actually cheating on the water source. Well, it's actually not. They didn't cheat anything.
The thing is that the water was actually like the water that is sold by Malaysia was actually dirty,
どの目が出るかしら
and Singapore just buy the dirty water, make it into drinkable water, and then so that everyone can drink it. And we sell, like, the price we sell back is not that expensive, you know. We know, like, okay, I mean, like, technically it's like 7-8 times higher than the original price that we buy from. But you have to understand is that we buy dirty water and we have to treat it. Treating dirty water takes money. It takes time and money and resources to make it happen. Obviously, we have to sell the price back at higher price. You think everything is free, is it? That's why I was like, when he said that Singapore is selling the price back at too expensive. Oh God, do you know how to treat water or not? For goodness sake, you think water just go through a water filter, and then it became drinkable? Huh? You try drinking pea water and tell me after filter it through a coffee filter and tell me you can drink that. You tell me you can.
That's actually how in Malaysia works.
No, it's not how Malaysia works. It's how Mahathir think is work, and he forced every Malaysia to learn it that way.
Yep. And I hate it.
Malaysia can be very smart. It's just because of that person that caused everyone in Malaysia to be stupid. And yet everyone trusts him. Which I can't really go against him though. If this get clipped and that get tell by everyone on Malaysia, I feel like either maybe some part of Malaysia might like me, but at the same time, some part of Malaysia who support him will be like, who is this Amika Kita? What is trying to say? And then I'll be like, yeah, I can't go to Malaysia again. I can never go to Malaysia again! Yup.
Even that when I say that, I'm actually praying that hopefully he can die more faster, to be honest. He's now on, I forgot what type of disease or cancer he got.
You are not the only person.
He can die more faster.
You are not the only person.
Isn't that bad?
It's okay. Am I supposed to say this or not? A lot of Singapore.
You actually could not see that one.
A lot of Singapore. A lot of Singaporean pray for the same thing. That's all I can say.
捕まえた終わりねよし見つけるぜ
It's true though. A lot. There's a reason why. A lot of Singaporean, like the old generation, most of the old generation that I know, they don't like Mahathir.
中身は何やろな
So now you know.
Because, first of all, I'm not surprised when you see that. But there's other countries that actually hate Mahathir. I'm not surprised, to be honest, because in Malaysia, when Mahathir got the
Prime Minister again.
For the second time, yes, when he got elected again, there
Yeah.
was a group that called Anti-Mahathir. I'm not even joking.
Actually, you know the one thing is right, when he became the prime minister, the oldest prime minister in the world again. It how am I supposed to say this? It happened after the late former prime minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, was long gone. He became after Lee Kuan Yew was gone. And the funny thing is, if anyone wanted to know, go and check on what he did when he first became a prime minister again. He freaking want to overturn a lot of agreement between Singapore and Malaysia.
Yes, okay. When he got the second time that he got become the prime minister, I was in that gen. Okay, I think I was studying high school at the time, and believe me, I still remember that a lot of kids rather did not eat at the time because the food at the time was too expensive because of the GST. You say to any Malaysian about GST, they will know what it is. So imagine that a single bread that only costs RM1, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will go triple amount from it.
Ah. But you have to understand, right?
A lot of people hate him. Hate him doing that.
I mean, like, a lot of Singapore also hate him for another. A lot of current Singaporeans hate him for another reason, was that when Singapore money became way stronger than Malaysia money. I remember the moment when I was like, yeah, Singapore can go to Malaysia, but a lot of Malaysia is like cannot go to Singapore.
Oh yeah, I know that issue. I know that issue.
I was like, a lot of Malaysia wanted to go to Singapore. I know there is a few people saying like, why do Malaysian people want to go to Singapore? Like, isn't it other way around where they can work in Singapore? It's like a lot of my friends say that, like if Singapore money became stronger, if they work in Singapore, their pay will mean that if they translate their pay to Malaysia, it will mean more money, right? Yeah, it's actually not that simple though. It just means that it just mean the another way. It just means that a lot of people will just make the price even expensive. It just means that.
It is a little. In Malaysia, not just me, but I think almost everyone will know. If you came to Malaysia, please know Malaysia. Please know bahasa Melayu. Why? Because if that person know that, oh, you're not from Malaysia, so they're gonna double the original price. My friend from China had been scammed from it. Imagine the nasi lemak only cost around RM1.50, but he ended up buying one piece for RM5.
Yeah, I know. It always happens when I go to Malaysia to buy to eat though. Is that a lot of
Afterwards, I just
I mean, like, when I go and eat in Malaysia a few times, in case anyone need to know, I always go me and my friend always go to JB to eat. JB, which basically means Johor Bahru.
yeah, Johor Bahru.
I always go there to eat. And I always make sure that I got one Malaysia friend with me.
Yes, please do. Please do. Please do.
I always make sure one of my Malay friend or Malaysia friend will be with me at the time. Because that way you can trick them into thinking that you are also Malaysian, even though I'm actually a Singaporean.
Yes, very much like that. I have gone to China before, but I could not talk any Chinese. Wait, not Chinese. Cantonese, if I'm not mistaken.
Depending on which part of the language they are referring to. Why? There is Cantonese, there is Teochew, there is Fujian, there is...
Because I just went there for fun, and because I met up with some of my friends that know Cantonese, then I was being my guide at the time. Because they say that, if you don't know, it's not because I don't know how to speak Cantonese, but also if they notice that I'm not a native speaker, the first thing they're gonna do is they're just gonna keep you as a prisoner. But I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't think it's...
サンダーセ氏在に言葉
I
なき手
don't
がか
think
り
it should be possible. But the only thing is that I know that in Malaysia you have to freaking learn a few Malay words, and then in Singapore you need to learn a few English words, and a few Malaysia word, or a few Indian word, and it's a bit more than enough in case anyone need to know. It's like Singapore just love to use the la or her or he, me, ho, he. So if anyone think, if I know there is one Thai guy say that everyone in Singapore love to use the word la, just use the word la. Yes, I know you use la, but there is also a limit to the number of la you can use in your life.
Okay, I think Malaysians use lah more than Singaporeans, I think. Because we always put lah in every sentence that we did.
Yeah, that's the thing. Singapore don't. Singapore got different version, you know.
Yes, I know. Yes, I do know that there's different version of it, but still, I think Malaysians speak
Can you
lah
banjak?
in a word than Singaporeans.
どの目が出るかし
But yet, a lot of people didn't know though.
Yeah, most people mistaken say that, because they're Chinese, so they're gonna say lah.
The thing is that Singapore got okay.
The opposite.
Yeah, there's like ho, there is ya ho or ya la, ya lo, ya me, ya. Like you just basically hear one ya and then behind got a lot of different words to combine and it all mean differently, you know. Like ya basically mean like yeah sure. Ya lo it's like what is it? How to say ya lo? Ya lo is like yeah that's true. That's true.
Yes, that's okay, no, that's true.
Yeah. And then ya me, which basically mean are you sure? And then there's ya lo, and there's like right, like it's like in a very negative way, basically meaning that like hey that guy keep on giving us word and you say ya lo, and it's like that's true or that is true. It's like in a very negative way. So there is so many different. You guys have to understand that when we Singaporean, like when I say we Singaporean love to use simple word. Yeah, that's just how simple Singapore words can be. But at the same time, it's also very complicated.
Okay, most of that Amir say is actually mostly to the Chinese race thing. But like
Yeah, that is the same time. Okay, now, I mean like it's then
Chinese that you using that Singapore thing.
the thing is like not even the China people know the version, you know.
Yup.
The only thing is that it only happened in Singapore. Amazingly.
気ぃってるでやっ行くで
Oh yeah, I just remember this one. It's like an inside joke Malaysian.
Uh-huh.
There's actually a night country. Negeri ke-9.
What's that?
Wait, I could not say it properly. Okay, there.
The night.
The night country.
Uh-huh.
Because dekat the country lah.
The night stage.
I just forgot what sempadan is. I just forgot what sempadan is.
Google search.
Wait, give me a second. My English is not loading right now. It's not country. You know that we have like what states? Oh god.
I was like wondering, is it stage?
Not country, states.
Nice stage.
My English is not working right now.
Yeah, I was like wondering, are you referring to the stage? Turned out I was right.
The English is not working. I'm really sorry about that.
Daijoubu. That's why I was like wondering, is it are you referring to the nice stage?
Okay. In English, it said the ninth state, but in Malay, it will translate as Negeri ke-9.
What's that?
There's actually a freaking place called Negeri Sembilan.
Huh? What's that?
It's actually a state name. It's actually a state's name.
飛ぶで
Wait, it's censored. Eh?
Rarity Kun doesn't like the word.
Okay. Why you just censored that thing?
Well, technically.
Negeri is
見切りました
9. 9 is 9.
Ah.
So it's an inside joke that Malaysian like to use.
Naruhodo na. That explain.
Wait, I wonder if Singapore has buah Melaka.
Singapore go what?
It's a type of food. Buah kelapa. Buah kelapa. Kuih kelapa. Wait. Wait. My head's not in the freaking place. Buah Melaka. Do you ever hear that word?
Somehow yes, at the same time somehow no though. I need to search the picture for the food just in case though.
岩山八九
Okay, okay.
行けはっせいやっへいさっはっやっはっふっ行きましょうはっはっ
Okay,
Give me a while where I fight the freaking flower. Ouch.
剣女盤石
ソーランド行こい
Because I also want to do a research just in case. I know. It's like I know a lot of people say that I know a lot of stuff. True, but at the same time also not true. I know a lot of stuff, but it doesn't mean that I know every single thing. I also need to do research.
Maybe you did it and forgot afterwards because you didn't see it for a really long time. Usually it's in that situation.
岩山八九
Yeah, it can also be. It can be likely to be that situation.
逃げ道はありません。ここより弱滅の時。
Okay, let me do a search. I mean, I haven't been in Singapore for almost more like 5-6 years already, so I have a lot of stuff I do not know.
But I do know that you guys have
Oh, this one, the green one with the coconut shading, right?
yes, that one.
Yeah, this one is actually one of my favorite snack. We call it kueh in Chinese, but it's actually a Malay delicacy snack.
Wait, kuih. Kuih.
Yeah, we call it kueh in Chinese. The Chinese in Singapore Chinese call it kueh. But we refer all the snack as kueh, all the dessert snack as kueh.
One thing, Malaysia also use kuih for anything that has to do with desserts.
You guys have to understand, right? Kueh actually mean cake.
Yes, I do know.
No,
Yes.
no, I'm actually talking this on YouTube. Just in case anyone, I'm just only referring in case anyone don't know. You can't remember. You have to understand that I also doing on stream on YouTube though, Richie-san. I just.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes get confused which one that are you talking? Are you talking to me or on chat?
No, just in case anyone watching in the future, kueh actually mean cake. It actually mean cake, and in a sense is that we refer all dessert as cake, technically that way. So it's actually not wrong to actually say like in Malay, like sometimes a lot of people say that where do the word origin from? Is it in Malay or is it in Chinese or in Singapore? There is actually not a real origin. It can be in between Malay and Singapore. It also can be in between Malay, Singapore and Indonesia or whatsoever. But the thing is that I feel like it's actually in between the Chinese and Malay. Because it's a Nonyan word. And the funny thing is that Nonyan is actually a half spread of Malay and Chinese. You don't know about Nonyan, right, Richie-san?
Yes.
Which is technically half Chinese and half Malay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know Nyonya is a half spread of Chinese and Malay, and that is the reason why a lot of things that a lot of people in Malaysia and Singapore always fight against. It's actually the funny thing is that Nyonya is actually origin from Malaysia, who also had a root in Singapore. So in a sense is that it's half though.
Yes.
And yes, Singapore and Malaysia love to fight over it.
Okay, not just that. There's a lot of things that we tend to fight on.
Who got the best nasi lemak in the world?
Yes. Not gonna lie. There was a judges competition in Malaysia between Malaysian and also Singapore. Whoa.
Yeah.
And the competition name is the best nasi lemak. I'm like, do you even have to do that? Do you do that.
They have to do it. In their minds, like, we have to have it happen.
Okay, Amir, how about you do this? In the future, if you want to do it, both of us need to see which food that has it exist in our own country and see which are the most similar thing that we can find and how many.
You know the funny.
That people that just do the grading on which one is the best and which one is the least best, like
Yeah,
just comparing it between our countries.
yeah, I feel like we can do that in one day. But that is only if I'm in Singapore. Or if not, we can just talk about. Because if not, I will have to ask Kat with me already. Kat is still Kat is in Singapore, so technically we can get her to be involved in it.
Yes, please.
But the funny thing is that even so, right? I feel like a lot of people didn't understand is that the taste of Singapore food and I mean like bak kut teh. You know bak kut teh?
Yes, I do.
The funny thing is that a lot of people say that Malaysia bak kut teh tastes the best and Singapore bak kut teh tastes the bland. And I was like, if you guys learn the history of Singapore used to be a port, basically a shipping where all the ship dodging and basically it's a dodging port. A lot of people, bak kut teh originated from a Chinese because it means pot with tea. Teh mean tea. Bak kut mean pot rig. So it's pot rig with tea. Now here's the funny thing part is, a lot of people say that the tea in Malaysia is much tastier. The thing is, tea. Do you add spice to your tea? You see where I'm going? Singapore is the original one, and Malaysia just improved on it. And you guys dare to take the original and claim the original? And when you guys don't even know the meaning of bak kut teh itself, you add spice to your tea. It freaking just bak kut drink with a freaking tea. That's how you freaking eat bak kut teh. Why would you want to eat something oily with so many spices? It's actually technically mean enough energy and food to make you have energy so that you can work for the day without worrying that you had no more food. It's original served with rice because rice contains a lot of calories so that you can have energy for work. So in the past, Singapore worker they eat bak kut teh as breakfast because it contains a lot the protein from the bak kut, which means the pork rib, and contain the calorie from the rice. And tea is just basically to wash away all the oil from the soup itself. But why would you want to add so many spices? The only thing is that the reason why it's so cheap and so plain is because it's the most affordable thing at that time. That's the reason why it's the most plain, the most simple thing in Singapore, and yet everyone forget about the origin. Sorry, this is just an old man rapping. I feel like when I'm talking about history, I feel like I'm very old though. It's like everyone will be like thinking, oh, how old is Ame? They not touch history. And I'm like, oh dear. You can't stop laughing. Please stop laughing. Is that funny?
Okay, I'm laughing from it because it's true, okay?
It's true.
Okay. You know how the thing became the one that we're using today? According from our side, they said that somebody's child just put some spices into the water, and the father didn't see it and just drink and say, oh, sedap, meaning that, oh, it's delicious. Like, huh?
Now you see, that's the thing. It's an improvement version in Malaysia. I will still give credit to Malaysia for the Malaysia version. But the thing is, you guys still have to
Most
understand.
people actually don't know where the original, who actually made it, to be honest.
The origin,
Not a lot of people know.
the origin is actually from Singapore when it's eaten by a lot of old people, all the workers in the past who work in the dotting the pot, where they have to like move a lot of heavy stuff in the past. A lot like in the all the heavy stuff when they have to carry from the ship to another ship, or from the ship to the warehouse, or the warehouse to the ship back to another ship. It's like all those stuff they carry is very very heavy. It's like not just 5 kg 10 kg, it's actually in the 20 30 to even 50 kg. It's very very heavy. And that's the reason why they have to carry so much things. So that's the reason why pak gu, or basically the pork rib, is the most recommended food, because it contains a lot of protein and meat, and it's the only cheap meat that you can get. And then there is the tea that I just mentioned, because Chinese love to drink tea. And the reason why it's cooked in the spring soup is because those workers are poor. They don't have money. So if you add spice to it, you are using up some more money to it. You understand where I'm going? Spices in the past, everyone should know that spices in the past cost a lot of money. If you're adding spice to the food, you're adding a lot of money to the food. And that's the reason why they do not add. That's the reason why the original bak kut teh in Singapore is always very plain and not a lot of taste to it. They only use a few white pepper, a little bit of salt, and that's it. That's just the original taste of the bak kut teh. And that the Malaysia version is that I had seen the history. It was some little kid who add a lot of spices to it, and someone saw taste it and found that it even tastier, and it became the Malaysia version of bak kut teh. So I feel like a lot of people forget the reason why bak kut teh, the original plain bak kut teh, for a reason, is that it was actually called a poor man meal at the time. And Akira-chan, 講啱未？好兄弟。Sorry that Ame Papa just go into history teacher mode.
But for me, it actually makes sense though, because okay, the one that we were being told in history school saying that Singapore did not have any like nearby resources. I think.
Yes. Everything is in. Even right now, everything is.
Behind of our house, there will be a black pepper plant. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Any spices that you want, you can go behind your house and take it into like smaller pieces. So I do understand why it become like that.
I mean, you have to understand how small Singapore is, though.
Mm. What I remember was the whole challenge. I forgot who did this challenge, but there's actually not from Malaysia, no. If I'm not mistaken, someone from the western side actually did a challenge, and he managed to cycle the whole Singapore country in just one day and visit every place that he can find. So I can imagine how small it is.
Okay. One thing, in case anyone need to have an understanding between Malaysia and Singapore, is that Malaysia is very big. Singapore, actually, the reason why it's called the dodging port is because it was actually the central part of which linked to many different places like China, Japan, even in India, all these places. And it was actually founded by Sir Stamford Rifle, who is actually from the East Indian Company at that time. And yes, it's the same company that the Pirate of the Caribbean belonged to, the East India Trading Company, the bad people at that time. Well, in a sense, you guys can say that technically Singapore was colonized by Britain because of certain red rifle. But at the same time, we can't really blame him for that because he realized the importance of Singapore and he caused Singapore to technically open up, became a dodging spot. And because of that, it became that people doesn't dare to take over Singapore at that time, was because that technically it was part of Britain colonization at that time. So that's the reason why Singapore had actually, when people talk about Singapore, what a lot of people didn't understand that Singapore is, although right now they are celebrating like 50 plus years, 60 plus years, but actually Singapore history stated way longer than anyone can actually know. The reason why is Singapore celebrate like 50, 60 something years is that is only like the year of independent, when Singapore became independent. But the history of Singapore stated there is actually 200 years of Singapore history recorded. There is recorded Singapore dated back to 200 years ago. That's just how old Singapore can be. And there was actually, funny thing is that before it was destroyed, Singapore was able to manage to salvage some part of it. A written war. You guys know about the One Piece, right? Where there is those big stone tablet written history, right? Singapore used to have that in the past before it was destroyed, but Singapore have part of it in one of Singapore museum. I have seen up close myself, and it's weird because I don't understand what's the word written on it. But
Okay, the first thing I think that was it may be in Jawi. It looks like Arabic, right?
I feel like that's the thing. The funny thing is that it was known as the book of the ancient. It was known as the ancient book of Singapore. It was supposed to say tell us the origin of Singapore. Like before, okay. The one thing is that in case anyone need to know, Singapore there is a place in Singapore called Temasek. And I think you know what the Temasek mean, which mean fishing village. The original of Singapore was actually called Temasek. Before Singapore was called Singapore, which means Lion City, Lion Singapore City. The origin Singapore was actually Temasek. Singapore was later renamed from Temasek to Singapore. And the original one thing is that it was actually called Singapura. And because like I mentioned, when the Britain doesn't understand Malay at that time, so they pronounce it as Singapore. So Singapura became Singapore.
Yep.
Because they don't understand the Singapura means. So and they thought that they are trying to say Singapore. So it became Singapore. To be honest, I wish I was alive at that time though. So that if anyone asks me, if I can go back to the history, I feel like that will be one of the moments where I want to travel and watch and listen to the communication between between all both of them. Singapore, Singapura, Singapore, Singapura. Singapore, Singapura, Singapore, 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 Singapore.
I know why Malaysians say Singapore because okay, if you don't know, Singapore is the core word is actually more to okay for the English slang. The core word similar to the POOR. It means that so that's why that they say Singapura. I forgot that there used to be a kueh named Pura, but I forgot how it looks like. But my grandmother said that it used to be from a food name. I'm like, it's actually from a food name. So out of everything that Malaysia can find, you just took a country name from a food name.
Yeah, you have to ask the Britain at that time though. You have to ask the Britain person who come up with the name at that time, which so happened to be a lot of people respect him as Sir Stamford Raffles Rifle. Well, yeah, but one thing is that I can assure you guys that when we call Singapore, that is the English official name. But yes, we do call Singapore if we call the Malay origin, if we say Singapore original name, it's not Singapore. We even see if any Singaporean you come across and they say Singapore is the original name, smack them in the head. I give you the permission to pong them. That is not a real Singaporean. Even if they claim they know the origin of Singapore is that the true Singapore name is actually Singapura. It's also stated in the Singapore plan. Majula Singapura. It's always never be Singapore. It's always Majula Singapura. That's and it's carried by a lion and a tiger. Lion represents Singapore and tiger represents the past that it tied up with Malaysia at that time.
Yeah, it's actually true.
And yet I never passed my history lesson at the time.
Okay, that's a chair noise.
You know the funny thing is that when a person talk a lot about stuff and then the person actually is very bad in the test.
For me, that's normal. Itu normal. Jangan dikata. Don't even say about it. For me, it's normal. I forgot what I wanted to say. But I think the funny thing was that how It was that my uncle used to say this. Malaysia don't want to use the Singapore because it actually has like we actually looking down on you guys. So that's why we created Singapura because just okay. In Malaysian, pura means make believe. So, so in translation, saying that we're making believe that Singapore is actually a rich country, but not long afterwards, you guys actually become a rich country for me.
You know the funny thing, right, is that a lot of people, a lot of Malaysian people at that old time, they look, actually, yes, it's actually true that they looked down on Singapore at that time. But it was until when Lee Kuan Yew separated from Malaysia forcefully, and after he reformed Singapore and became even richer, a lot of Malaysia people want to come to Singapore and work for Singapore at that time. It's kind of funny because a lot of Malaysia at that time was like, they compared the Singapore government, they compared the Malaysia government, and they were like, why did Singapore leave Malaysia at that time? Why didn't Singapore stay?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Not just use old people used to say it, but even now, even history teachers will say that why even Singapore leave Malaysia? If Singapore is still part of Malaysia, we're gonna be rich with
Yes, that's the thing. I know a lot of Malaysian people I know, even old grandma, old grandpa that I know, who I used to like talk to in the past when I used to work. And I know there's like one or two Malaysia old people who come to those wet market to buy, because I used to work in the wet market in the past selling stuff. They'll be like, why Malaysia government never learn from Singapore? And I was like, huh? I was like, huh? And the funny thing is that the Crown Prince of Malaysia, he studied in Singapore before he became working in Malaysia as the Crown Prince. You do know it, right? The Crown Prince of Singapore, the Crown Prince of Malaysia.
Yes, I do know.
He chose not to study in Malaysia. He chose to study in Singapore. It's like the Crown Prince of Malaysia choose to study in Singapore instead of his own country. You know, that's already like indicating to you guys how bad the education in Malaysia is compared to Singapore.
No, it's actually true. It's actually true because the prince actually say that, oh, the Malaysian government is actually really bad. So I'm just gonna go into Singapore and see how it is. And a few months afterwards, he actually write on a Facebook page saying that Singapore government is more better than the Malaysian. Why didn't I born as a Singaporean, not a Malaysian?
You know, and I remember the funny thing is that when Mahathir became the prime minister and he wanted to change a lot of things that is affecting Singapore, actually what everyone didn't know is that why he couldn't forcefully change it was that the Crown Prince of Malaysia, he was actually the one stopping it.
Yes, that is true.
I was like, the reason why Mahathir couldn't change it is not because of the agreement. The thing was that the agreement, he can just tell it, but the thing was that the agreement was overseen by the royalty of Malaysia. There is the Malaysia government, and then there is also the royalty government. Malaysia is really one of the few countries that is still got royalty or monarchy, if you guys want to call it, the king and queen. Yes, Malaysia still got the king and queen. The Crown Prince of Malaysia, funny thing is that he's actually an ally of Singapore in a very funny way.
At least he represents Singapore. At least.
I find the funny thing is that I remember that you remember the. You know the funny thing is that the Malaysia was the one who, you remember that they were trying to build out a train, express train between Malaysia and Singapore, and the government of Malaysia at the time forcefully say that they don't want to create the bridge because they find the price is too high, and they say the cancellation fee should be paid by Singapore. It's like they tell us to cancel it, and they are the one to tell us that we must pay for it. It should be they pay for it, right? And you know the funny thing is that you know who stopped them from doing such a thing, and in the end Singapore don't have to pay a single thing, and Malaysia have to pay for every single thing. You know who caused it? the Crown Prince himself.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it.
The Crown Prince of Malaysia, when I say he was an ally in a funny way, is that he actually stopped a lot of things from all the bad government in Malaysia trying to take advantage of Singapore.
Yes.
So in a sense, is that I actually very grateful for the Crown Prince of Malaysia. But at the same time, I really can't blame him that he is actually stressful over. And the reason why the Mahathir was later on stepped down as Prime Minister and he became part of the royalty government was that the reason was that the Crown Prince forced him to do it so that he can keep on eyes on that freaking undead old man. If you think it this way, won't you? Where's the best way to keep the people who love to create trouble for you? Obviously near you, right?
That's the easiest part.
That's why I feel like I'm really grateful, and I don't really hold too much respect to a person, but the Crown Prince of Malaysia, he really have my respect, you know, like yes, I will do this. Respect. I mean like he actually likes Singapore a lot. The government issue, the lifestyle in Singapore, the all everything he like is like he likes Singapore in many ways, but at the same time he's the Crown Prince of Malaysia, so he can't negate his duty. But the one thing is that he always, in a one way, he's always an ally of Singapore because Singapore never try to take advantage of Malaysia. Is that we always try to do a fair trade with Malaysia, and yet Malaysia just the government, they are greedy.
Yep.
If they never eat money and they use the money for the people of Malaysia, I can assure you guys, Malaysia will be in the same situation as Singapore is.
If you actually want to see Malaysian being fair, Malaysia is gonna fall first before it's gonna be fair.
True.
Yeah, first before you can actually be fair. That's my honest opinion.
True. That's very true.
I think if somebody from my own country hearing me saying about my own country, the first thing they're gonna say that, are you racist for your own country? Yeah? It's not racist, but it's actually the truth. It's the hard truth that I have learned.
It's the hard truth that everyone need to face one day.
Yeah.
It's the truth though. What we're saying is the freaking fact in a way that I know a lot of people doesn't like it. I can see where you guys are like coming from. But the one thing is that you guys have to understand is that Singapore is a freaking small country. How can Singapore overtake Malaysia? Right? So the one thing is that if Malaysia at the time, like if Mahathir swallow his pride and learn from the late former Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, Malaysia would be prosper like how Singapore is at now. everyone will be living happily, enjoying using new technology stuff here, there, everywhere, all these things. Every place you go to in Malaysia will be pride. You won't see anyone doing anything that is corrupted, like in the police. Crime, everyone will not do crime. It's like even if people do crime, they knew they will be dead because police will be after them. Not at least, you won't feel that unsafe. But yet,
Okay, if you want to know, there used to be a serial rapist in Malaysia, and guess what happened lastly to that person?
Oh, what happened though?
The government let him go. But that person ended up dying because one of the fathers saying that if the government could not handle it, I'd rather do it by myself. And he actually freaking killed him.
I knew it. You always end up with someone not from the government or someone from the police to bring justice. I know it's unfair, but that's just.
That's the whole solution though, because if you rely on the freaking government,
Yes,
the
I know.
government will freaking just let it slide.
I know. I know.
A lot of cases similar to it has been let go.
I understand what you are meaning by that. It's just that when I don't really like to talk bad about a country personally, if possible.
Yeah, you know.
But when it comes to Malaysia and the relation between Malaysia and Singapore, that's just how bad the situation is, though.
Okay, my honest opinion, I think Singapore is more better than Malaysia. But I'm actually grateful that you guys managed to separate yourself before Malaysia become this corrupted. I actually am.
Yeah, actually, I wonder. The one thing is, right, I actually told a lot of people that that might be a good thing that Singapore did not stay in Malaysia at that time, because in Singapore became more popular because after the separation. But the thing is, right, even if Singapore don't separate, the thing is that will knowing Mahathir, he will do everything in his power to force Singapore government to be in a bad way. He will do anything to cause Singapore. He will try to use all his power to take over Singapore. And
It's just that old bastard's plan. Not plan. His habit. He has the habit of doing that freaking thing.
the funny thing is that when Malaysia got a voting between Najib and Mahathir,
It started with Najib.
you have to understand that Mahathir was actually a mentor to Najib. The reason why Najib was that greedy was because he's learned everything from Mahathir, and Mahathir is also another greedy bastard. It's just that Najib learned from the best and he improved on the skill, and that's the reason why he eat even more than Najib. And Mahathir just want a part of it, but Najib doesn't want to give him, and that's why Mahathir is like, since you want to give me, I shall expose your truth to everyone. But as in the same way, we all know that Mahathir is also another greedy bastard.
For me, it's more easier that if I'm saying this right now, there are some ghosts, but most of them are bullshit.
Let's not go too long. Let's not go too much into that detail.
Yep. Okay. Other topic.
Yeah.
Even though we started to talk something that had to do with politics.
To be honest, that's the reason why I don't like to talk about politics, because if you are talking about the, I mean, like, the funny thing is that when I told my friend it's like between Naraji and Mahati, I will just say one thing, and that one thing will be, you guys never had a good choice ever.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, like, it's always the funny thing is that actually in many countries, I always tell a lot of people is that when you vote for two people, it's always either you only vote for one choice only. You're only voting for one choice. I mean, like, in terms of voting, I know a lot of people doesn't want to vote, but you know, like, it's still technically something that you guys still have to do as a citizen of your country. And to be honest, I always wonder, like, when I know there is actually a few people who say, like, I mean, if you should start a party in Singapore and we all vote for you, but I can assure you guys that I can maybe like get 1 or 2 votes, but then everyone, that will be my own vote. I'll vote for myself, but then again, no. And then when the result come out, everyone is like, Omega Kita, 1 vote, and then everyone is like, all abandon me. But anyway, even if I have to vote, the one thing is that there is no way I will get in, because I remember they say that you need to be a university. A person who is in the university session, and a lot of many other things that you have to be. So yeah, I think it's impossible for me. Actually, if I do become a minister of any country, let's say any country, I feel like I won't survive for long though. Because if I try to do the right thing, everyone will try to stop me.
Well, true. Anything that you do, if you do something good, somebody's gonna stop you. If you do something bad, somebody's still gonna stop you.
Yeah. Even when I do something bad, people are still gonna stop me. Wow, what made you think that I will do something bad? Yeah. Wow. Someone doubt me to the point that the person will say that, oh, even if I do something bad.
I didn't doubt you, but almost in any situation that we are in, that's actually what is gonna happen.
Wow, true.
I'm not doubting you.
Wow, that's very true though. I mean, like, when it came to I mean, like, it's the funny thing that is how the world go. Like even in real life, when you go to school, there is always either one bully or someone in the class that is trying to stop you from doing things, or trying to stop your progress for some reason though.
Yes, true.
And in the back of your mind, you're like, why are you stopping me? Why do you want to stop my progress in life?
There's another child that is actually pulling right now.
The chair pulling love. Not the
Get the sound.
It's amazing how I'm able to do that. If next time if I apply for next time I should actually write this in my 3-minute introduction.
Really in the resume.
I am able to do a chair. I am able to do a chair
捕まえた。終わりね。
laugh, a chair sound
気
laughing.
ぃつけるで。はい。先に。
It's just a random question, but have you ever flicked a middle finger in front of your own teacher because they just become bullshit in front of you?
I'm trying to refresh all my life in my school life. Do I have a date before? I'm trying to record. Like you guys have to understand how many years I have to refresh back. You know.
Okay, that's one. But and second, because I was wondering that, are you still there or is your avatar broken or something? Because your eyes are keep, you know the keep open and shutting over and over again. Yeah, that's how my sight looks like.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm really flashing my eye right now in real life. That's why the camera can capture my eyes keep on flickering. Because I'm actually flickering my eyes. It's like I'm trying to refresh my. It's like I'm trying to recall back in my life. It's like you guys have to imagine how many years back already, that I'm refreshing back. This old man used to do this, but you have to imagine how many years it was in the past. Just how many years do I have to recall? I can't recall every single thing in my life. I mean, like, I don't even remember what I eat for breakfast. Oh, actually, I actually eat cereal for breakfast, I remember.
Okay, that's a new achievement. It sounds like the Windows sweep. What was it? The one that you use on the car.
Yeah, the wiper, the wiper.
Yep, that sound. We just got a new achievement this week.
And then one day it will became the ship whistle. Take your time on the toilet, but I'm slowly just finish out on some of the requests here. I seriously should not laugh though. Just doing laugh. When I laugh, I still get cough. Yeah, it's still happening in real life right now. I can still have a problem with my throat if I laugh. Okay, the one thing is that if anyone need to know, the reason why there is a plastic sign is because is to actually, just in case I need to throw away from, because I don't want to go all the way to the dustbin. So if anything, I can just split into the plastic bag and then just throw the plastic bag away. Here they are. I got quite a lot for you. And then we'll go to here. Sumeru. Bacon. The cheesecake won't be able to eat anymore. He's just doing his commission for himself, ka. Naruhodo na. And I was like wondering why does he need the bacon for? One more here. And spy out well. Okay, let's just go and give it the meat instead. It's much nearby. It's just nearby. Here. I kind of wonder what happened to the other places. I mean, the 2-bag is gone. And technically, Montez event is going to be over soon. I mean, like, we can still technically buy things from him. So Cruz is still technically here. I wonder where is all the NPC? I wonder is Fendi still here? Okay, let's do this one. And oh yes, I almost forgot that every time when I do artifact farming, I need to also remember that I need to use out some of the artifact leveling. The last thing I want is having a full artifact, not able to throw them away. Okay, that's quite a lot. Imagine if I go and then you say that your artifact set is full, your artifact storage is full, your artifact fire. I feel like I need to throw quite a lot though. Just toss them away. I mean, like, if the stat is not good, why keep them? I don't think I really need most of it right now, though. Like, most of that substat is not good to be kept at all. Oh god, I'm getting sleepy. I'm getting sleepy.
I'm back, and why is my character looks like that? I didn't think it was there.
Maybe if I do it this way, it'll be considered safe.
Huh?
I mean, like, you're staring at nothing.
Just staring into the sky.
At least
Watching the rain.
it's at least
Still watching the rain because of the background.
at least that instead of like this, you are staring at me, though.
Then I'm just being a stalker for army. Okay, that sounds so bad. That sounds so bad.
Very bad indeed. More like, imagine you'll be like, did I say something doubtful? You're like, I'm keeping my distance and staring. It's like, gee.
It's not like I'm not being like doubtful. It's more like I'm lost in my thoughts and like, huh? What just happened? Oh yeah, when I went to the toilet, I went to get Maggie. But I
But
only have the curry version. I want the chicken version. I want the ayam one.
I kind of wonder one thing.
Oh, and also, did you refresh your memory?
Why?
The question that I asked was that have you ever played finger to your teacher when you were back in school?
Yes, that's the thing. I can't recall it. I feel like I did, but at the same time, I also don't feel like I did, though. Like, seriously.
What I remember was I do it on graduation day.
Oh god, why?
Somebody was actually taking my picture and I was showing the middle finger directly to the school principal.
Oh. The thing is that I feel like I did.
I still have the photo.
I feel like
I
I.
have the photo in my phone.
The thing is that I feel like I did, but not in front of them.
Because Ami is a good boy when he was young.
I feel like I point behind. I point finger middle when they turn their back.
At least you can still phone the teacher saying that I'm a good boy. Well, me, high school on graduation day.
And then he saw you do it.
Yes, he was actually talking, and after I got the message and the paper from him, I actually flicked the middle finger in front of his face. Are you okay?
No, sorry. Somehow I feel like I was going to do something bad, but at the same time, the cough stopping me from doing it. So basically, in case you need to know, I was going to do this. Nice.
First of all, the headmaster is actually a fucking idiot to begin with. So, throughout 6 years of my high school, I actually got mad at him. And the funny thing is that most people say that it's like I still remember some of my juniors say that are we in school or in politics? Because you're the headmaster just become politic people in the school. I didn't mean to go politics, but it's actually the truth.
Well, that's how life goes.
Almost everything that you do actually must at least have to do with politics.
There's always politics in work, in life, in whatsoever, even in your own family. There's always a little bit of politics. Right? There's always a little bit of politics in your life, right?
For me, if you ask
もっ
about
と聞きたいなら
politics,
リンゴをちょうだいよ
24/7 for me.
I mean, like, even in real life, no matter what, it's unavoidable for some reason that I don't understand why.
Give me a second.
大きな木の上に腰
Okay, I was not expecting this to happen today.
飲みきれない
And
ほど
what
の
would
リン
that
ゴ酒を
be?
片
I hear someone screaming. I know it's one of the
手に持
boys
つ
in
ん
my
だ
family, so
ほら
I went to check down.
Uh-huh.
And guess who's screaming due to the cockroach?
Ooh.
My dad. Okay, one thing.
For some, okay, let's I the only reaction I can say, I can only use this the anime crow flying in the background, making the sound. Ah! 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 Ah!
That's very, including if, okay, imagine that. Imagine a 70-year-old man scream in a really high pitch that you can say almost a girl's scream.
I can't laugh. I can't laugh at your father because I'm an old man myself, and when I saw the cockroach, I also screamed. It's just that I only screamed it like last week. Your dad screamed it today. Okay, Sankwame, how's your day?
But one thing, at least his scream still sound like a. Okay, sorry to say it, but still scream like an old man. But my dad actually screamed like a freaking girl. But one thing, only me and my mom is the
もっ
only
と
female
聞き
in
たいな
family.
ら
The others are
リン
boys. So when
をちょうだい
when
よ
he scream like a female, I have no words for it.
Wow, actually, I kind of wonder. It's like imagine your dad, a 17 plus old man, just go and instead of saying ah, he go and scream. Yeah!
One thing, he actually did that. That's why I say that. Give me a minute because I want to check something.
It's a good thing that at
I
that.
thought that when I got okay, the house is actually a two-story house, so my room is actually upstairs. My dad's screen was actually downstairs on the first floor.
Mm. And
I
also,
thought that somebody managed to kill the cockroach, but no. Both my siblings are still on the table when I got to the first floor.
なるほどな。And Aki-san, go and rest. You need to rest more though. If possible, try to rest.
From them standing on the table.
Okay, the one thing first. Remind me tomorrow. Remind me again tomorrow. When if about fitting middle finger to the principal. I can tell you like now that I think about it, I wish I did it to my principal back in my middle school. And I wish I did a double digit too. I'll tell you guys the reason why. But I feel like I can't say it today because reason is because it's pretty late in Japan. Tomorrow I have to wake up early. And the funny thing is that I at the start of the stream I say that I was thinking of doing 1 hour, 2 hour stream. Guess how long it became?
It's more than that.
Let me do a check on the timing, and it's written as 2 hours and 57 minutes.
Near the 3 hours.
Yeah, the 3 hours. It's always happen every time when I say I want to do a short stream, and it always end up being a long one.
律令
ご安心を
I actually play myself at the same time because I'm tired of talking. Usually, when I start talking, it's gonna go. Wow.
や
Mommy.
Nah, I won't bring you because I'm also the same type. Excuse me, guys. I mean, like, when you put 2 person who love to talk, I feel like
You
that.
can go hours and hours without even putting a stop in the conversation.
How about let's do it this way? One day I go and do one stream. You can do your own stream too, and we are not playing game. We are not doing anything. We are just
この
talking.
美しい風景もそばに誰もいない以上私の普遍を引き
If we just talking, the topic can be anything in random. I feel like it'll be just basically. I feel like that we'll be able to talk for 4-5 hours though. Somehow that's what I think. What do you think?
I think we can go more than that.
Yeah, I also think so too though. It's a very high possibility. It's a very high possibility though. And yet we can't deny it.
And true.
The worst thing is that we can't deny it. Why? Wait, so
I taught myself to talk. I actually taught myself how to talk. Like
浮
this.
世の風景は幾千年も変わらないというのに
Really correct.
人の
So I need to find my own idea what to
と
talk.
はこうも
Ah.
白露と泡のように
Oh.
儚
Well, like 就真講緊咩 how's your day? Or more like how's your date? Aren't you I mean, like, Neji-san keep telling me that you love to bread, so I was like wondering, how was it? Yes, we don't talk about that. Oh, really? I wonder about that.
つれづれなるままにひくらしすずりに向かいて
Don't ever mention that again. Okay. Okay, in case anyone need to know, I'm technically recovered, but at the same time not fully recovered though. I still cough a little bit. My throat is still a little bit bad. So actually the one thing is that I've been drinking warm water for the past few days. Earlier when I was drinking a lot of water, yeah, I'm still drinking water next. I still have a freaking water next to me just in case though. I mean, like, you guys have to know that the temperature in Japan right now is 14 degrees outside, you know. And you're having a lot of bad day. Bad day is just part of life. There's nothing to worry. At least even today I got my bad. I even consider today is my bad day. You have to understand that when I work, I supposed to be doing dishwashing for 4 hours, end up became 5 hours of dishwashing. You know. It's part of life, Jo-chan. It's part of life. Why do you think that I ever thought about having girlfriend in the past, and yet I broke up with many of them up, and in order to make them not look after me, I make sure that they are the one who break up with me, and not I'm the one initiating the breakup. It's like to ensure that the girl don't ever think about me, I make the girl break up with me instead. Didn't I talk about this a few times in the past? And I never look back. There's so many fishes in the ocean. Just look for the one that you can see in again. If you are not happy about it, just eat some fish for dinner instead. You know a lot of people keep saying like the term when they say like, oh, you broke up, you don't worry, there's a lot of fishes in the ocean, like which means that there are a lot of nice people out there in the world. Then every time when I say that, oh, how about let's go and eat some fish. Why are you? Am I wrong to say that?
That's the only thing that I have experienced. I never go on a real date before.
Actually, more like I never been to a blind date myself. Technically, I've been on mostly on in people that I know. But maybe can I say a blind date? I mean, like even if I meet the person for the first time after interaction online, are you? Is that still considered a blind date? No, right?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I'm not 100% sure.
Like I mean, like technically you know the person already, interact with the person already. So I can't really say that I never really been to a blind date where someone pair me out with someone that I normally my definition of blind date is like you do not know the person do not know you, and you decided to meet out just like that, or if people set you out for it, that is considered blind date to me though.
Yes, that's actually it.
But if you know the person know you, I won't call that a blind date though. That's just how I think. In case you need to know, technically I've been sick for nearly up to 3 weeks though. I kind of worried. Should I do a exercise podcast? Should I be doing Ring Fit next week? I feel like not doing exercise for 1 month will be kind of bad though. In case anyone need to know, I've been actually walking to my part-time is a form of exercise. But at the same time, I actually I used you guys remember I bought the one that I placed on the stomach. You know the thing that you place on the stomach and you vibrate your stomach, right? Yeah, it was thanks to that my body is technically still in a form of exercise. And then next time kung may how short day. I'm Amika Kita in case you need to know. You can just call me Ami for short. You're losing weight in a bad way. If you're losing weight in a bad way, then you need to be careful though. You do not want to lose weight in the wrong way. That will be very bad in so many ways. Okay. I know Zhezhen want to talk a little bit more, but I can't talk much today. Tomorrow I have to wake up way earlier and to go for my part-time. Yes, I know. I will go and sleep. I also need to go and hang my clothes out first because tomorrow afternoon will rain, so I have to go and hang my clothes out tonight so that it will dry hopefully by tomorrow morning. So with that said, oh god, let's do the usual outro. So if you want, tomorrow I will still play Genshin again at around this timing, and sadly I still got work on Monday. The Monday, it was supposed to be on Tuesday. The funny thing is that it was supposed to be on Tuesday because my salary also is supposed to be given on Monday, and my manager just say that since Monday is the salary payout day, how about you work on Monday so that you can get your salary, so that and then Tuesday you can take a break. And I was like, okay. Yeah, actually, I made another order. Is that I told her that I have to go off early just in case, because if I don't set a timer, she'll definitely ask me to. If there is situation that where there's a lot of customers, she'll definitely ask me to wash dishes all the way until 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Then I won't be able to reach home to do the night stream. No, I do not want to set OT. That's why I have to set timer with her. I have to set a rule. I'm technically working as a part-time. I got a right as a part-time by setting the time that I can do my part-time, you know. That's the right, okay? That's my right. But in any case, right, well, that also means that Tuesday is all open up, so probably I'll be doing a long stream on Tuesday, I think.
A long stream is okay, just not a whole day of streaming though.
つれづれなるままにひくらしすずりに向かいて
Why
Do I look like a person who want to do a stream early in the morning? I always I don't look like the person who want to do the stream for the whole day. Even when I say 1 p.m., it will end up become start from 3 or 4 p.m. Right?
I did a stream at 7 p.m. every day.
Hey, at least it's better than me.
Lasted until 10.
The next morning.
この美しい風景もそばに誰もいない以上私の普遍を引き立たせるだけ
Imagine if I do a live Twitch stream from morning 9 a.m. to 9 o'clock. And if I say 9 o'clock, it's actually 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay, so if everyone are watching this in the morning, have a good day. If you're watching this at night, have a good night rest. Again, we'll talk again maybe tomorrow or on the next video or live stream. And for this in this YouTube, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.
浮世の風景
Good
は
night.
幾千年も変わらないというの人の世とはこうも白露と泡のように儚い